By the end of this video, you will learn how to create your first task using this free web scraping tool, which has accumulated over 800,000 users. I'm Franek, I create tutorials related to no-code, low-code web scraping tools, and here is another one. Let's jump directly into the tutorial, shall we? As for the installation, there is nothing more to say than to go to webscraper.io and to click on install. As it is a Google Chrome extension, you click on Add to Chrome. And if you have done the job successfully, your extension should appear just there. Now let's pick up our website. And first let's think a moment of how to grab the data we want. So here is a list of articles. We have 10 articles per page, and we have 35 pages. In order to jump from one page to the other, I have to click on the next page button. And the purpose of my scraping will be to select all 10 articles per page and to jump into the detailed page. And once we reach that state, we're going to extract 3 pieces of data: the title, the date, and let's say the first paragraph. Alright, how to do that? Well, let's come back to our starting URL and I turn on my extension. Well, as you might see, there are 2 different ways to scrape this website: the AI supported one and the traditional way. Let's start with the traditional way, shall we? As it gives us a better understanding of how the whole thing works. I do a right click and I click on inspect, or I directly type F12 on my keyboard, and here is the web scraper tab. I click on it and let's create a sitemap. So I click on create new sitemap. A sitemap is a task, a web scraping task. Here is my starting URL and I give it a name. The name doesn't matter whatsoever. I click on create sitemap. Now, what do we start with? Well, I might start with the pagination, meaning I'm going to select the next page button in order to jump from one page to the other until I reach the final page, which in our case is a page number 35. So I add a new selector. The ID is the name. Again, it doesn't matter. Let's call it navigation. And the type, on the contrary, is very important. So the type is not a text, it could be a pagination. And actually, a pagination it is. Now you have to select where the pagination is located. You can now see that the overlaid elements are turning yellow. I put my cursor on the next page button, and do you see the HTML elements here? At the very beginning of it, there is an A tag, and an A tag is an indicator that we are currently selecting a URL. It gives us a clue, let's say. I click on next, and I click on done selecting. I can click on element preview to make sure that I've selected the right element, which is the case. As a pagination type, you can set it up to auto by default. Usually it works fine. I click on save selector, then I click on the navigation selector, and we're going to create our loop item. The purpose of the loop item now is to select our articles. As we have said, we have 10 articles per page, so let's select them all. I add a new selector. I'm going to call it loop item. This type is no longer pagination. It can be element scroll, because if I'm selecting element scroll, as you can see, I can check or uncheck the scrolling box. In our case, we do not need to scroll down the page, so let's keep it unchecked. I cannot select the entire article, but that's no big deal. Let's select the title, and if I click on the P for parent, now we are selecting the entire article. I click done selecting. I keep the multiple box checked, obviously. I make sure that the parent selectors is set up to navigation, and I double check it by clicking on element preview. We have 1 element selected instead of 10. Well, it implies that our selector is the wrong one. In other words, we have to write it ourselves. And this selector, ladies and gentlemen, is a CSS selector. So I'm pretty sure you can find it by using an AI, but I'm going to show you how to do it on your own. Let's switch to the Elements tab, and I am clicking and select an element in the page to inspect it. And same thing as with Web Scraper, I can overlay my cursor on a specific item. I'm targeting the UL item and everything below it, so LI. and I have 6 items. You see, my friends, this is a boring part, also necessary, and this is basically how we are troubleshooting our task. But I'm pretty confident on our ability to solve that problem. After a few moments, I finally found something. The CSS selector is li class. The asterisk is equal articles, and it refers to that specific HTML element. So an element starting with an li tag with a class attribute and containing articles within its value. Let's come back to Web Scraper, and I paste my CSS selector. I click on preview, selected element count 10. Perfect. I close preview and I click on save selector. Now let's go through the loop item. I'm clicking on it. We have said that we have to go to the detailed pages. So to do so, we have to extract the URLs. So let's do that. I click on add selector. I'm selecting a link. Let's call it URL. And I select the URL. You remember what we have said regarding the pagination? If it starts with an A tag, it means we are targeting a URL. I click on it, done selecting, element preview, and it looks alright. As for the link type, usually you can let it to link read from href attribute. Save selector. One more time, we're going through the URL. So I'm clicking on the URL. I'm also clicking on one article, but this time on my browser. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to extract our data. I add a new selector, and we have said that we first want to retrieve the title, the type text, by default, it's alright. I'm selecting the title, I click on done selecting, element preview 1, it looks good, first record only, and I click on save selector. Let's do the same thing for the date, the publishing date. We can do it as a text format, but you will see we can do a smarter move. Let's say date, I select the item, and see what's happening just over there. We have a datetime attribute with a UTC format as a value. And this is a real date. This is a date we can manipulate afterwards. So if you have an opportunity to grab a datetime value, well, please go ahead and do so. But to do that, we no longer have to select a text. We have to select an element attribute. We reselect the item. Okay, done selecting. We grab the datetime value. First record only, save selector. One last data field, which was the first paragraph. I'm selecting the first paragraph. Okay, so we have done a lot of things in one row. It might work or might not work, but the only way to be entirely sure of that is to give it a try. We can now click on scrape. Let's make the interval bigger, let's say 4 seconds each time. And I click on start scraping. So we have a new pop-up. We don't touch it, okay? You do not close the other tab either. However, you can perfectly work on another project in the meantime, meaning I can do something else, and despite it, the scraping process is still ongoing. After a few moments, this is what it should look like. Actually, if you have no data displayed, it's perfectly normal. You have to click on refresh data. And then, well, you export your data in CSV or Excel format. Let's check it out really quick. So we should get roughly 350 data rows, and we do have 344 data rows. Well, it looks really good to me. Maybe it's time now to say a word regarding the AI feature. Get ready and take some notes because it's going to be very fast. Here we are, back to our starting URL. I turn on my extension and I click on start. Do we need a category setup? We sure don't. Let's skip it. Page navigation type, script data from open each listing, select item page links. Okay, I select my 10 articles, and you remember what we have said? If it is an A tag, it is a URL. I select one, I select two, done selecting, and we have 10 item page links selected. Does this page have pagination? Yes, it does. Select next page button. Here it is. Data setup. The page content is being analyzed automatically. So we have the same data fields as we had previously. Finish and scrape the page. Now, will that work? Well, we will see that in a moment. It took a bit of time, but finally we have a very similar result. Let's export it. It looks good to me. So by any means, use the AI feature because it's way easier. And if the AI is not working for whatever reason, well, you can switch to the traditional old-fashioned way. If you need any help in your web scraping project, you can contact me by sending me an email, and I see you next time.